Hello, everyone. Welcome to Storm King's Thunder Big Boy Season. We are back for our 9th episode of this wonderful little romp through the Savage Frontier, where this party of yahoos tries to overcome a burgeoning giant threat, but more pressingly, a Zentarum menace. So yeah, I'm Matthew Foreman. I am at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. I am a Dungeon and Dragons content creator and tabletop RPG creator here on Dice Priori, and it can also be seen on Variant Roles. Leia will introduce you to our lovely cast here. We will start, as always, with the lovely Faye.
Hello, I am Faye. My Twitter is at FayeHots. My Twitch is Faye14. I stream and stuff, and I play Aubrey Hoppa in Artificer.
And Crowan.
Hello, my name is Crowan. I stream on the Twitch TV, mostly Teamfight Tactics, the new auto chess by Riot, recently, because that game's been a lot of fun. Today, as well as for hopefully the rest of this campaign, unless I unfortunately perish, I'll be playing Zane Korakai, the Tiefling Sorcerer.
Alrighty, and Casanova.
Hi, I'm Casanova. I play Lucius Cavaliers, the human bard in this campaign.
Perfect. And May.
I am May, and I play Alyssa Selinari, an Aasimar Druid.
It's crazy.
Absolutely insane. And Tomster.
My name's Tom. I play human fighter, Kaiser. I use sword and shield.
We're doing great. Absolutely no landing issues over here. We're just jumping back into it after 1 week off. No problems. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a little warm. So, when we last left the party, our heroes here, they had just ventured forth north towards the town of the town of Triboar, in search and pursuant of certain treaties on behalf of Nightstone to forge diplomatic alliances to strengthen the town of Nightstone in the Savage Frontier, but also secondarily, or even primarily, to strengthen Zane's hometown of Mirabar, his family being the second most powerful family in Mirabar after the Selnans, however you pronounce that name. So to that end, they journeyed forth with a Zentarum threat on their back, which seemed to be confounding them at every turn, haunting them through Waterdeep and Drassalanter, and they even found a retired Zentarum agent in Red Larch, but were able to negotiate and learn some information. When they arrived at Triboar, they met with some of the local color, including an innkeeper who had two very snobby dogs that disappointed everyone in the stream, which was great. And they then met with a couple other members of the town, such as Limmy Two Shoes, the cobbler and psychic, and former Zentarum, still active Zentarum agent, semi-active Zentarum agent. Lucius used a disguise as old mags to negotiate some information out of him and get some agreements. And meanwhile, Zane and Alyssa made their way to Doratha Shendral, the lady of the town, the kind of reigning lord, with her assistant Maya, who are both Harpers, members of the Harpers Society, or whatever they're called, a kind of league of do-gooders. And we pick back up with Doratha Shendral and Maya introducing themselves to Zane and Alyssa. So, that's the wrong music. Lady Doratha Shendral speaks to you, Zane, and we'll say, so, now that the introductions are all out of the way, what brings you here, Mr. Korakai?
Well, Lady Shendral, several things bring me here. Firstly, I have a treaty from Nightstone that perhaps will be of interest to you, considering it was from Nightstone. And Zane will pull out the treaty and hand it over. We'll let her read it.
She kind of grabs it and opens it. Spends a brief moment reading it. Ah, yes, a treaty with a Nightstone. It's quite old, but could still be honored.
What exactly is old?
The treaties among some of the savage frontier towns, some of them have existed for over a century, some of them several centuries.
Of course. Is the treaty to your liking? I know Nightstone is in a very vulnerable place right now after many attacks recently, so I know they were seeking assistance.
No. We are more than willing. We are more willing, ready, and able to help the good citizens of Nightstone. It's just curious tides that I think bring you in here. Unusual that a representative from Mirabar would come on behalf of Nightstone.
Of course, I was in the area, and I had interest as well in the town of Triboar, as I have a treaty for you to read as well. And Zane will pull out a treaty that he wrote for Lady Shendril to read, which basically says that Mirabar has like many resources to offer, looking to establish diplomatic relationships with many towns in the area. Resources like mainly metal and stone and stuff.
All right.
Let's read that.
Kind of peers at it. A closer alliance with Mirabar would service this town well. That's to be certain.
And if I might ask, I am aware that it would serve Triboar well, but what is it that Triboar has to offer to Mirabar, seeing as you know this town best and what it has to offer?
Triboar unfortunately doesn't have a great deal of resources. We're mostly a farming community, but we do produce a lot of grain and wheat and whatnot. That may be of some use to you. We also have a wonderful artisan community here, of course.
While Mirabar is looking to trade resources, it does not need to be resources that are exchanged for this. It could be in terms of political influence. If you have connections, those are useful.
Well, I am personally connected with the Harpers. I don't
Indeed.
know. I don't know.
I am aware.
I'm not sure if Mirabar is in need of our services. You do have the Axes of Mirabar to defend your town.
Of course. However, that actually brings me to my next point. You are very aware of the Zentarum, correct?
Indeed I am.
It seems the Zentarum presence, especially in this house, is growing more bold. We have run into them multiple occasions, traveling from this house to here.
Yes, while the south is closer to cities such as Waterdeep, which are rife and prime for the Zentarum corruption.
Of course. So you might see the dilemma here, and if I want to offer diplomatic relations between Mirabar and towns and cities to this house, that the Zentarum serve no good in helping to acquire these relationships, and perhaps eliminating them would look favorably among Mirabar and my house.
So you would like the Harper's assistance, or Triboar's assistance, more accurately, in eliminating some of the Zentarum.
The Harpers are very powerful, is this correct?
We have our talents and our resources.
Indeed, you do. And you very much wish to see this interim fall, if I understand correctly.
Yes, however, defeating all of the Zentarum is unfortunately out of the question.
Yes, it is a great task to accomplish, but you would not have to do it alone. I am just asking for your assistance. Perhaps we cannot eliminate them in, a very short amount of time, but it is a sort of long-term goal that I am looking for.
Well, what I can tell you is that I'm more than willing to put you in contact with some of the Harpers. I can give you access to a more prominent contact who can maybe get you closer to their headquarters and in touch with some of the key members in Evermore and in Moongleam Tower.
Wonderful.
But to that end, I am in no such mood or disposition or ability to get you in contact with that person until we deal with the problem that we have here in Triboar.
A problem? Does it happen to involve orcish bandits?
No, those are the least of our concerns, but they are, of course, connected to a larger problem.
What is this concern then?
There appears to be a rather violent threat not far from here that is encroaching. We have been using my riders and scouts have been reporting their movements for some time, but a small encroachment of minor elementals, orcs, half giants, and two very large and terrifying fire giants is making its way to Triboar.
Giants, you say?
Yes.
And fire giants. That is actually part of the problem with Nightstone. They were assaulted by giants. So this is interesting. Perhaps it is some of the same, but they are traveling to the north. Do you know if they are coming from the south?
No, they are coming from, I believe, a northeasterly direction. I do believe.
That is odd. Perhaps different kinds of giants or something? I mean, I think they are different kinds of giants, from fire giants to the ones that attacked Nightstone, but...
How did the ones in Nightstone attack Nightstone?
I don't actually believe I am aware exactly how they came. I believe the residents of Nightstone were woefully unprepared for such things, and they sort of overtook them out of surprise, or seemingly surprise from them, to them.
Well, at any rate, the giant and his brigands will be here far too soon. The giants and their brigands will be here far too soon. We'll need every hand on deck in order to defend this town from utter annihilation.
What is your estimated time of arrival for them?
They'll arrive next evening. Tomorrow at sundown.
Yeah, tomorrow, so soon. What preparations have you made thus far? Is the defense, is the guards, is the militia here able or apt to deal with this? Have you called for assistance with other?
Fortunately, we only caught wind of it a few nights ago. It's difficult to get meaningful resistance. And we only confirmed that they were going to be headed here this morning. There are a lot of creatures that roam the savage frontier. It's not always clear of their intent.
Yeah, of course.
But yes.
It is unfortunate that they are heading here, but carry on.
The town of Triboar has existed for as long as it has because the people who live here take the defense of its village very seriously. But there will still be great casualties even if we are to prevail. Tell me, is this the only person you're traveling with? And they gesture to Alyssa.
She is not. We are traveling with 3 others as well.
Good. Are they as capable as you?
I believe so. They are. They have proved to be very capable in a combat. We all have our different strengths, and they happen to work quite well together.
That's good to hear. The villagers and the 12, which are the name of the riders who guard this town, are all getting suited and prepared for the battle to come. But like I said, there will be great casualties if we do not get more assistance, and some more assistance soon. If you could please gather your little adventuring party, that'd be greatly appreciated, and bring them back here to the tower so I can meet them.
Would you like to do this now?
Time is of the essence, but
Yeah, of course.
by the end of the day is fine. Take your, you are a free citizen. I am only offering a potential trade. You help defend this city, and I'll put you in touch with the Harpers, who can, indeed, help you take down the Zentarum.
Of course. I think this is a fair trade indeed. Perhaps for me, though, as I am sure that the rest of my companions also want to see the Zentarum fall, I do not know if that is their highest priority. I do not wish to see them unrewarded, but I understand that the defense of the city is the utmost priority.
Are you also asking for money?
Not necessarily for money. I do not know what all of my allies' desires are, but I am asking for you to perhaps hear them out and what those desires might be.
Of course. That's why I'd like you to bring them here so we can finalize the negotiation.
Indeed, as long as we are on the same page here. It was a pleasure speaking with you, Lady Chandra. I will bring them immediately.
It's a pleasure speaking with you, Zane.
Alyssa, did you have any questions of the moment?
I want a horse.
Lady Lady Chandra kind of steps up and crosses her arm. That is a very peculiar opening statement.
Well, you see, they killed the horses last time we had them, so I missed it. And you said that we could ask for something, but it wasn't money, and so I asked for a horse.
She seems to be keeping on more than we thought. We can absolutely reward you with a fine stallion.
Thank you, and I curtsy.
Oh, I'm not sure what that was, but that's very, very lovely.
That is... all right. Let us go find the others, Alyssa, and then we will return very shortly.
Bye.
Bid you adieu for the moment, Lady Chandra. We will be back. Zane bows.
She just gives you both a nod, and the meek, not meek, but the smaller woman, Maya, just kind of gives you a nod as well.
Zane will bow to her as well, and then leave the room. And we're walking down the stairs, Zane will say to Alyssa, that was a good attempt of the curtsy. A few more attempts and you will be proficient at it.
That was so boring. Is that what you do all the time? Just talk all the time?
Well, that is how things are accomplished. That is how alliances are made. That is how cities form. That is how empires are made. Kingdoms. I know you are not from areas where that is prevalent, but that is how most of the civilized world functions, unfortunately. It is not a cup of tea for everybody, but it is what I was raised around.
Do you usually get what you want when you use all those words?
It depends on the person as well as what you are offering. If you are in a place of great power when you are going to make a deal with somebody, then you usually do get what you want. You need to have leverage. That is important.
Interesting.
It just so happens that I am part of a very powerful family in a very powerful city, so that leverage is easier to come by than a lot of people.
Okay. So what I learned from today is if you want something, you have to have leverage and power.
In some sense, yes. What you're offering has to be of appeal to the person that you want to make this deal with. Unless you run into a very generous person, which might be possible, but is not likely. They will not just give you it for free or for something that they do not deem to be valuable.
Do you really think she'll give me a horse?
I think she very well should give you a horse if we help defend the town of Triboar, the whole town.
Yes. Okay.
That is worth
We
many
will
horses.
discuss it. Oh, that would be pretty cool. Okay.
Have your horse stable.
No, I don't like stables because then the horses get hurt.
Alright, perhaps not disabled, but however you want them.
Okay, we'll go get the others. We'll save the town, and we'll use our leverage to get horses.
Indeed, you are learning, Alyssa.
And I skip off to go get the others.
She skips off, Zane will say to himself. If only she'll remember this, but we will find out. And we'll like kind of not like skip off or speed off after, but like, jog. Not jog, like power walk, I guess. A solid power walk after.
Jogging is unbecoming of nobles.
Yeah, solid power walk.
Oh, you both are lovely. That's great. The other three were the ones lingering around Lemmy Two Shoes, and you had all just parted away from there, yeah?
Yeah, and then we stopped by what was his name's?
Yeah,
Morag's wife.
His wife.
you did.
And
Yanza?
Yes.
Yeah. And we had just left her place.
and we had split ways to go do those things, and then now we were walking back to the inn after Morag's place.
Perfect. You return to the inn with Urgala Meltimer with her and her two hounds. Yeah. Back in her inn. So the three of you are there for now. What do you do?
Aubrey, I suppose we should find somewhere to talk. Figure out what we're gonna do.
Yes, I suppose we could just get a room. That would be a good place to
Yeah,
start.
did we get rooms here already? Or are we gonna do that later? Matt, you remember? I feel like we probably did, right?
I feel like you all did. Yes, you did. You did. You
I
did.
think we did.
You
Yeah.
did.
Okay. Alright, we'll head up to one of the rooms and we can discuss what we found. Kaiser, come along.
Sure. Get some like a fucking dog or something.
Right.
Well, I have
Lucius-
to keep you on a short leash after last time.
All right, I'm putting back on the hat.
Lucius is going all alpha on everyone.
Alright, so I head up to one of the rooms, and so what I found was troubling, but I don't know. So I'm not sure how I feel, and I need to bring up what we found with you all. But Lemmy is still partially under the influence of the Zentrum, but it doesn't seem like he really wants to be.
Hmm.
The issue is if we tell everyone or report him, we could be damning a man who is desperately trying to escape a terrible life. But if we don't, and something bad happens, then, well, we're responsible.
Yes.
Basically, Lemmy asked of me, as Mags, to take care of the current Lord Protector. It seemed as though the Zentrum are putting a lot of pressure on him to make this happen, calling in old favors, and he doesn't seem like he really wants to go through with this. But it seems the outside pressures are pushing him into making maybe rash decisions. I don't know how to go about this.
So they asked him to do this, but he does not want to do it, right? Or at least he seems reluctant.
He seemed reluctant, but at the end of the day, he was going through with it. He offered me, as Mags, to a great deal of money to complete the task for him, as I had offered looking for work as Mags to see if he was still connected with the Zentrum, which it seems he is, so I was right in my hunch to not trust him right away.
Yes. Well, obviously we're not going to do what he asked. We're not going to take
Well,
care
yes,
of
of
the Lord
course.
Protector.
No, that's not one of the... But my issue is I don't believe that this man is a bad man. Not, at least entirely.
Did you say that there was a timeline to this?
No. He just offered the job to me, and I refused it as Mags, so potentially he's out there trying to figure out someone else who will do it, or he's going to do it himself. But he's the contact we were supposed to meet with. Seems he's still tied to the Zentrum.
Yes.
And while I fully trusted Garland, it doesn't speak well for him. I still trust him, but again, just... It's hard to trust anyone these days.
No, it's hard to trust anybody who's working with the Zentrum, for sure. I mean, he might be forced into it, of course, but...
So what do we do? If we go to the Lord Protector, there's no way she has mercy on someone plotting against her life. But if we don't go to her, then, well, I guess we're as good as then?
What was your answer to him when he asked you, when you were as Mags, about the Lord Protector?
About
Did you say
completing
that...
the mission?
Yes. Did you say you
Oh,
wouldn't do it, or that you would?
I told him he wasn't offering enough money and I wouldn't do it.
So then
Well, I told him I'd think on it.
Oh.
I guess, was the final thing, because he tried to sweeten the deal. He does make some very impressive magical shoes, I will say that.
Well, if you accept this as Mags, then that at least means that he shouldn't be looking for other people to go and try and take care of the Lord Protector. That gives us a little bit of room to work with.
It does. But to what end? Where do we stop?
Well, if he's not contacting others to take care of her, we can perhaps place him under our protection and somehow get into Red Arch with Garland. And then as we're leaving, we could warn the Lord Protector that the Zentarum are after her.
Speak to him as well as our party, as we were supposed to go meet with him from Garland. Should we do that first as well?
I think it might be prudent to do that.
He seemed quite strong, and it was important, it was imperative that I had this, touch the amulet, on me when I spoke to him. He, as Garland said, seems quite adept at reading minds. I was so terrified that Kaiser had come in.
Yes, well, hopefully he didn't read anything from Kaiser. But, I mean, it seemed like Garland at least trusted this man. So ultimately, we followed through with the original plan of talking to him as the party, as a group, and formally, telling him about Garland, what we learned from him. He might be more open to hearing us out.
Potentially. Well, shall we bring it to the others when they're back? Get their ideas on it.
Yes. What do you think, Kaiser?
For him, I don't know. I think we should tell Lord Protector, even though he wants... Maybe I don't understand the situation, but if he's pursuing doing this, then he is Zentarum and he should be held accountable.
Unless there's no choice. I mean, the Zentarum don't exactly leave room for negotiation on these types of things.
Yeah, but he's trading life for life, right? Does that make it good?
It doesn't make it
No.
good, but does it make it necessarily evil? I mean, when the Zentrum offered us a deal, we took their lives instead of them taking ours. It was a life for a life. Does that make it good?
He's the one that I don't think that's the same situation, but they initiated life taking, so it was their own fault in a way. I believe hey, I don't know. I am okay with him taking the fall as he has the capacity.
Alright, well, suppose we'll wait for the other two to get back and see what they have to think about this. I
Suppose so.
personally don't wish to condemn a man just because he's being forced into something. Yes, he's worked with the Zentime in the past, and he is making the choice to trade one life for another to keep himself alive. But, life is precious. We shouldn't throw that away.
Yes, I mean, in the ideal scenario, neither of them have to die, yeah?
Yes, ideally. If we can get a way to both warn and protect her, as well as keep Lemmy safe, and hopefully out of both the Zentarum and the Lord Protector. Perhaps getting him back to Garland is one way to do that. But
Yes, or convincing the Lord Protector to flip him and give him protection. He seems like a quite powerful ally to have.
yes.
Well, suppose at this point all we can do is wait for them.
True. I need a drink.
Yes, I could use one myself. Head down and get a drink with Aubrey.
Yep.
And I believe, wouldn't you know it, just as you head down and are settling in with your drinks, Zane and Alyssa show up.
Zane opens his mouth, you can't hear him either. It's so strange.
He's cursed.
Must have been
That's
cursed.
crazy.
Yes, cursed on
Zane, are you okay?
Yes, I just lost in thought for a moment. But the meeting with Lady Shenjo has gone some parts well, some parts concerning, as you all requested to come to meet with her on your earliest convenience, seeing as, and like Zane lowers his voice a little bit so people around can't hear. There perhaps will be a attack on this town tomorrow with giants involved. And I have said that perhaps you could help in this effort. Of course, she is willing to negotiate a reward.
Quite concerning. Fighting giants. Well, it doesn't make it
Indeed.
necessarily fun, but suppose. Matt, point of order. Lady Chandril. That name sound familiar at all?
Well, why don't you go ahead and roll history?
First roll is a night. Pog.
15.
So you did not know her directly, but you have heard of her. She's a fairly prominent harper. There are a lot of harpers in the world. Sometimes it's just like, hey, I'm a harper, like being a member of a moose club. But you don't know her directly.
Okay. But I am aware that she is a harper.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that she's aware of who I am, so that's fine. Okay. It's all good. She's definitely not aware, Matt. There's no way. Nope,
You're doing
not
fine.
aware.
You're doing fine.
Doing fine.
Does Liz just look uncomfortable at the mention of Lady Shenjo?
He's pretty good at selling it. I can roll if you want me to, but he wouldn't give anything away with for free on a name like that where Matt's saying I
Yeah,
only
for
know
sure.
the name. Have to be a different name to actually, I think, rattle him.
That's fine. Well, yes, I see you have your drinks there, but perhaps you can save them for after this meeting.
Yes, I'll come back for another, and then Aubrey will just down it.
Lucius will join
Jesus.
her in downing it. And before we head out, we should probably discuss our findings. Well, or we can wait until after. It depends how pressing this meeting is.
Yeah, I suppose it depends how pressing your findings are. I mean, is the town being attacked tomorrow seems pretty pressing to me.
I mean, yeah, that seems quite pressing indeed. Aubrey, I mean, which one do you think takes precedence?
Well, I mean, attacked by giants, you say? But it's not until tomorrow, so a quick talk between all of us before we go back to Lady Shendro. Oh my god, English. Is probably not going to be a bad idea. It'll only take probably, 10-15 minutes to discuss something, and then we can go see her.
Hopefully.
Sure. That is fine with me, as long as we eventually go to Lady Shenjo. She understood that, we are our own people, so it will take a little bit, and it would take a little bit. I believe she'll be probably awake, strategizing for a while, so...
Yes, well, our discussion does not take that long, so...
All right.
That way we're all on the same page before we go over there, I think is important.
Sure. Should we head up to the rooms then?
Yes.
Yes, I suppose so.
Walk, walk, walk. Room, room, room.
Closes the door. So what were your findings?
So it seems that I was right in my hunch, at least to an extent. And as I frame this to Aubrey, I don't know the right way to go about this. It seems Lemmy still has connections to the Zentarum. But he seems like a good man who doesn't want to have those connections.
Connections that incriminate him in the eyes of the Zentarum? Or...
Yes, I believe so. The problem would be, or the problem is, it seems the Zentarum are trying to contract him, or make him, deal with the Lord Protector. It didn't seem as though he was going to right now.
Lady Shenjo?
Yes, Lady Chandra. When I went in as Old Mags, I came in saying that I was looking for work. That is what he had. He said that was what the Zentrum was pressuring him to do. They were calling in old favors. He had been out, and they were forcing him back in.
Probably not, but did they mention why they wanted Lady Shenjo out of the picture?
No, but I assume it's a similar reason to Nightstone. They wanted control of the politics there, so they could push the Razor Dust through. Seems like that would be kind of a similar thing. Also, Rasalenta, is that where we got attacked? Yeah, Rasalenta seems to have some kind of similar thing going on. Whereas in Rasalenta, it seems they've already succeeded.
Indeed.
Yes, this could be the beginning of trying to take more of a presence up north.
Now, my big problem here is that if we go to the Lord Protector and tell her immediately, which I'm not saying is the wrong call, because it makes sense. We may be damning a man who is doing everything he can to get out, but is being forced back into the Black Network. And we may be damning a good man who made poor decisions in his past that have caught up to him.
A good man is a curious statement there.
Well, I don't know him well enough to say that definitively. I'm saying we may.
Of course.
He seemed reasonable. He seems powerful, though. He seemed like he'd be a good ally for someone to have. And Garland trusted him. The question is, do we trust Garland? And I think we do. But it's hard to say.
That is an interesting trust to make to someone who we barely know, and also it reminds me, Garland was the one who used to be in the Zentarum?
He was, yes.
Yeah, so interesting people to trust on this matter. I don't know. Obviously, someone who was in the Zentarum is more apt to be sympathetic to someone who is also in the Zentarum and wants to be out if he is now out. And sympathy does travel. But let me ask you this, all of you, I suppose plainly, we all want to see the Zentarum fall, do we not?
We did.
Yes.
Kaisa, Elisa?
Sounds like a good side project for sure.
A side project for what is the main one? For you, at least.
Oh, for me, just going to Gothelgrim right now would be the main. I majored in that. Minored in Zentarum crushing.
Fair enough, yes. And Alyssa?
I just want to defend the town so I can get a horse.
Fair enough.
enough.
And defending the town would also, yeah, okay, well. If we are majority in agreement of wanting to take down the Zentarium, then making sure that they are in no means able to gain more ground is very important, of perhaps arguably utmost importance.
Agreed.
Utmost important.
My question isn't about whether or not we prevent them from gaining ground here, or prevent the, for lack of better terms, assassination, removal. It might not even be kill. He didn't specify kill. Removal was the key term. Removal of the Lord Protector, right? I'm not saying we don't stop that, because we absolutely stop that. What I am saying is how we go about it. Because Lemmy, being a former Zentarum who wants to be out, could be an incredibly powerful ally to have when combating the Zentarum, especially one of his talents. He seemed to be quite competent at reading minds. It is a damn good thing I took this before going in.
Of course, if there is perhaps a way to gain Lemmy's favor and gain his trust, then I think it would be a good thing to have him as an ally, but...
I think I had a brain blast. What are the things raiding the town tomorrow?
She mentioned giants or
Fire giants.
The orcs, right? How large was Lemmy? He skipped my mind.
How what is Lemmy?
How tall was he?
How does one's mind skip?
Lemmy was 6.5 feet tall.
Okay, that's good.
He was elvish.
He was elvish, okay. It still should be fine. So, how about we come to Lemmy with this plan, right? We tell him, or we just say, hey, we know you want out, right? We, in this ensuing battle, we kill an orc, right? Just willy-nilly, right? We bring it back to his house. We burn down his house. So all that's left would be a skeleton, right? Okay, stay with me. And then we tell him to go back to Zarlin. Boom, he's out. Boom, save the town. Boom, Lord Protector saved. Thoughts?
So you want to fake his death, is what you're saying?
Yes.
What if someone else is in the house? What if there's an animal in the house?
We can clear the house. We don't gotta burn it down without him knowing.
Oh, I didn't know you didn't have that in your plan. Okay, so we clear the house, and then we burn it down.
Yes.
What about the house next door? What if it catches on fire?
We can make sure it doesn't.
So, okay, you want to fake his death to get him out, to get him to Garland so that the Zentarum doesn't think he's still alive?
What?
Whoa, why?
Zarlin's not in the network, right? So...
Right, so you want to get him to Garland to...
So I assume they were friends, quote, yeah.
So why do we have to fake his death? Why don't we just get him to Garland?
Because faking his death would make it almost like it would cease like them looking for him. Because if he just goes missing, it's obvious, right? Because from the way Lucius is saying, it sounds like he wanted out. It seemed like maybe he wanted to decline this, but they pushed him, right? So faking his death sounds way easier if he has himself that he's protecting, right?
Okay.
So that line of thought, not terrible. The rest of it, good. Well done. Great show. Would make an excellent story. However, I don't know if we can go through with that whole plan, but hear me out. How malleable did the Lord Protector seem, Zane? Is there a way to convince her not to kill Lemmy and instead try and bring him into the fold, bring him to our side?
That is a good question. It is hard to say. Lady Chendril, while she was receptive to the multiple treaties presented by her, there was a definite. She was rather focused on the fact that her town was about to be raided, so I am unsure if she would condemn a man under these circumstances. However, she, I believe, it could be one of our favors that we ask of her as a reward for successfully defending the town, if hopefully we successfully defend it. That we do try to do something with Lemmy. I think that leverage is one that can be had, especially considering what I have to offer her.
I was about to ask that as well. If we could use him as potential bargaining chip for after this. So we tell her, but we say we help defend the town if she were to spare him and try and bring him onto our side instead.
So basically putting him in like witness protection.
Essentially.
Use a bargaining chip. But this all relies on the fact that Lemmy actually is able to agree.
Oh no,
wants to
I
agree.
already got that one. We break his arms and legs.
That sounds fun.
So where did that come from?
What does that accomplish?
Jesus Christ.
Wait, no,
He can't run away then.
He can't. Yeah, like we're saving him from himself. You know.
That's horrifying.
And he can't pick anything up. And then he can't eat. So
Wasn't the point of having
Maybe
Lemmy on
not
our
his arms. Maybe one arm.
Okay, one moment. Wasn't the point of having
nowhere?
Wasn't the point of having Lemmy on our side is the fact that he would willingly work for us and use his powers and his connections on our side?
Well, this is the
If we go
situation
over-
where he wasn't willing, right? That's what you just said.
Well, if he's not willing, then at the end of the day, he's just going to have to die.
Oh, okay, that works too.
I
This is
mean,
what I mean by neither side is great, Kaiser.
I mean, he's that the arm he got in at the first place, and then here he is now with once out afterwards, right?
but okay, what was this? Was it Garland that said that Lemmy wanted out, or who said that Lemmy wanted out?
Well, first off, Garland said he was out. When I spoke to Lemmy, it seemed like he had been out for a very long time, but some favors have been called in, and he's been pressured to come back in for one last job. It seems
And
like
this was that
he
job.
doesn't- This was that job. But he doesn't seem to want to do it. But it seems as though he will. It's not that he won't. It's that he doesn't want to. That's why I think he was excited when I asked about getting work. He was trying to push the job off onto me as Mags and just try and stay out of it.
I think this is actually simple as we are making it. As long as I am not overestimating the protections I am able to offer to Lemmy, I think if we're able to get him to Mirabar, he would be safe from Zentarim.
Wait, so you trust him to be in Mirabar?
If our concern is having Lemmy on our side and the information he possesses, I think, from what you are saying, if we are to perhaps not believe, but in this instance assumes that Lemmy is a good man and was out of the Zentarim, and I suppose it does take, regardless of someone being evil or not evil, it takes some amount of willpower and character to be part of something like the Zentarim and then willingly leave it. Recognize that even surrounding all of your companions, your compatriots, that it is wrong and you want to leave it. I think that is something that perhaps can be retouched in someone such as that.
How about we take a no bullshit approach? We can enter as ourselves to his establishment as we had initially planned, because this is someone we intended to meet. And basically try and get a good read on him right away. Talk to him about what we would have asked in the first place. What he knows about the Zentarim, all those things. We have to be careful as you can read your minds. But at the end of the day, if we think he's lying, we just tell him straight up. We know he has one more job with the Zentrum. But if he really wants out, we can help make that happen.
I don't actually think there's that much of a problem for him to read our mind. I think that maybe it is. I do not know. I have not quite encountered this problem before, but I'm very clear on what I would want to offer to Lemmy. I think if he wants out, offering him protection for assistance, I think that is an opportunity that he would perhaps jump at. Now, to Kaiser's point, I do not know if I necessarily fully will trust Lemmy, but things that he is able to offer are an objective good, as long as he is not willing or not planning on actively betraying us. Everyone has their own motives, their own things they want to accomplish. As long as it does not directly with the Zentarim for Lemmy, I think that is of no consequence.
Well, I'm with Zane here. If we can find a good way to keep this man, or well, use this man as a asset in taking down the Zentrum, we get to save a life in the process, save 2 lives in the process.
It's basically the same thing as my plan, but we're using a favor, right?
Your plan was to fake his death, was it not?
Yeah.
I don't think we have to...
basically the same.
I mean, that plan is very interesting. It does, however, require many specific things to go correctly. Mainly is the thing...
Oh, fuck. He's supposed to give me shoes tomorrow. Oh, shit.
He is what now?
So I was in his shoe shop, right? And he offered me some shoes. Being paid tomorrow. But the race tomorrow. I forgot. Fuck. If we save them, I'm getting those fucking shoes. Continue, sorry.
That has clouded my train of thought. But now we're on the subject of the shoes. What time was your shoes being made? Tomorrow? What time were you picking them up?
I don't know. Does it say a time on the paper?
Speaking of his shoes, those were like the most well-crafted shoes I had seen in my entire life.
That's what I'm saying.
They seemed like enchanted as well. They were very beautiful, pristine. Oh wow. I'd kill for a pair of those shoes. Okay, that's maybe not...
Yeah, not good wording right now. Yeah.
That's how he had asked me to kill someone specifically for a pair of shoes, so maybe I should not... That's, yes, the wording probably not good. Yeah, but I would kill someone for a pair of those shoes.
I would murder someone for those shoes.
Yeah, I would commit crimes for those
For shoes.
Yeah. Zane, if you saw the shoes... If
Wait,
you
can I
saw
get
the
shoes too?
Maybe it takes a day, I guess.
You would understand that you must commit crimes to get those shoes.
What I severely am lacking understanding of
The fact that those
the
shoes
quality of these
exist
shoes.
is a crime in itself.
These shoes are insane, right? So he gave me the plans to these shoes, and first of all, they're red bottoms, right? Second
They
of all,
have red bottoms.
they increase my
I
jump.
think it's something about the enchantment that makes it red. It's
Exactly, red for power speed.
And blood.
It is red.
Look, my hair is red. It's not blood. It's it's a dye from flowers.
All right, Matt, what were you saying?
I bet you
Sorry.
could dye it with
So,
blood, right?
are you all venturing towards Lemmy or the Lord first, lady?
Yeah, that's.
I don't think. Wait, I had more to say on it. I don't think we made a decision yet.
Amazing.
Okay, we'll
Keep
stop talking
going.
about shoes. Go ahead. We'll stop. Go ahead. So after 30 minutes of discussing shoes, back
Definitely
to...
not 30 minutes. Because after 1 minute, Zane interjects and be like, okay, I think we are getting our priorities a little mixed up right now. But yes, okay, I understand you want shoes and they help you in combat, I suppose. But the raid of the town will not happen until the evening, reportedly.
Oh,
Perhaps they will, I don't know, the scouts were wrong and they will come earlier. Perhaps they will come later, it is not known, but they assume they will come towards the evening.
oh, really? They can get them. Nice.
Right, perhaps so.
So, do we want to go talk to Lemmy first, or do you want to go talk to Lady Chandra first?
I think talking with Lady Chandra is a bit more important. You do not think that Lemmy would do anything quite immediately, correct?
I didn't get the notion that he would. Granted, seeing as how the town's being assaulted tomorrow, you're saying? That does seem like a golden opportunity to try and perform an assassination or a removal of someone.
That is a very good
So
opportunity.
that does make the timeline a little bit quicker than I had previously expected.
I propose... Okay, I propose we go to Lady Chandra first. We tell her that we want to exchange for Lemmy's safety. Hopefully we are able to get it. If not, we can renegotiate with Lady Chandra what we want to happen to Lemmy if Lemmy does not agree. But since Lady Chandra also has already met Alyssa, perhaps Alyssa can... You can change forms, can you not, Alyssa?
I mean, yes, into an animal.
Yes, perhaps into a... can you transform into a bird, perhaps, out of curiosity?
No.
You cannot. Ah.
I
Well,
can turn into a mouse or a dog or a cat or a hedgehog or a badger or a baby bear cub or
all right.
a...
Okay.
What is with all these small animals? You have so many small mammals.
I'm a small girl.
That is true. Anyway, so I think since Lady Chandra has already met Alyssa, Alyssa does not need to introduce herself, and perhaps you can watch over Lemmy in case Lemmy does decide to do something immediately. Perhaps, I don't know, transform into a dog or some sort, run over to the keep if Lemmy tries to leave home or anything, and, like, I don't know, bark 3 times so we know, and we are able to tell Chandra that she should be careful. But the rest of us can go to Lady Chandra, and then immediately after that, go to Lemmy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And so we are in agreement that we want to try to assist Lemmy in getting out of the Zentarim contract or confines that he has on him for his assistance.
I'm in agreement with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Woof.
That's everyone.
You
Yep.
already turned into the dog.
No, I just said woof. I haven't heard the dog yet.
All right. There's a lot of things happening here, so we should take care that the timing of them might prove to be difficult, but perhaps, hopefully not. But let us go. Step 1 of the plan. To Lady Chandra.
Okay, so you all make your way to Lady Chandra, yes?
Yes.
Except for me.
Except for Alyssa. She's gonna keep watch. She's gonna keep watch on Lemmy.
Yep, just gonna be a watchdog.
All right, great. This is great. We're doing good here. So the 4 of you go towards the tower, while Alyssa goes to a more, I believe, a northerly direction from the tower to scope out Lemmy's shop. Alyssa, how are you going to? Are you going to stealth around, like, and like hide out somewhere and be all sneaky? How are you doing this?
Fuck that. I am turning into a dog. Probably like a fluffy dog.
Okay.
Not like too small. Actually, I'm turning it into like a Shiba Inu dog, right? Real yappy.
Okay.
And I am literally doing like the little prance
You,
as I prance down like the road
You're-
towards Lemmy's house.
you're promptly picked up by animal control.
No!
I'm joking.
Woof!
I'm joking. God, the Shiba
The dog
prancing.
catchers just come out.
Yeah. Roll for initiative.
World
no.
famed dog catchers.
Okay. The Shiba prancing has got me. It got me. I can picture it. Just give me a minute. I think I'm having a heart attack. Okay. Okay, so while that is happening, go ahead and roll me a perception check, Alyssa.
Okay. I just want to actually modify
Actually, Faker.
it. Wait. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so you're looking in, and you see Lemmy appears to be. As a matter of fact, he was closing up shop. His store is dim. He doesn't seem to be making any moves. There's a small light on in the apartment above his shop where he is expected to live. And you kind of see him pace back and forth every now and then. He seems to be, like reading or what have you. So he seems to be staying at home.
Okay, I sit like a good dog. With my head like this, and I just wait.
There's one of the guards kind of is walking by and looks over. Oh, I haven't seen you around here, girl. Come here.
And I prance to him.
The guard pets you. Oh, wonder if you've got an owner. Perhaps I should take you home to the missus.
I back up.
Oh, all right. Well, steady on them. And then the guard walks away.
I give him a oh, as he leaves.
Alrighty. Meanwhile, the other four approach the tower. You are all able to gain entry, and you walk up to the second or third floor, where the lord of the town and her assistant Maya await. Doratha Shendral, as much as I described. She's got, blackish brownish hair, a kind of apathetic expression. Her hair is kind of pulled to the side in I don't know what the hell you would call this, but kind of pulled to the side and wrapped up. And she wears combat leathers and wields 2 short swords. No, actually, sorry, a great sword and a heavy crossbow. And her assistant Maya is a beautiful younger woman with kind of a metallic hair that is very straight and cut very sharply. She wears dark leathers as well and has a short sword and a kind of musical instrument holding. As the 4 of you enter, she shoots up, and her assistant Maya looks whenever Lucius enters the room and gives a kind of cocked, side-headed look to Lucius. And Lady Shendral, unaware of this, as Maya stands behind Lady Shendral, speaks. Welcome. Welcome.
The second I walk in and notice Maya, Lucius... Maya?
Lucius, I certainly didn't expect to find you here.
You're alive.
Of course, Lucius.
Good. What are you doing here?
You can see Lady Shendral is looking backwards. I'm apprenticing under Lady Shendral as a harper.
As a harp? Oh. That's unexpected. Congratulations. Sorry, Lady Chandral. We should get to to business.
Well then, I'm glad more than one of us is acquainted with the party, or certain members of the party. I'm sure, as Zane has told you, I'm Lady Shendral, and you can all introduce yourself if you wish.
My apologies, Lady Shandrel. I am Lucius. Yeah.
I see you've left the silver-haired child at home, Zane?
Yes. She has already discussed with you. Once she wants her reward to be. She had other business to attend to. I did not think it's imperative. Would you like me to fetch her?
No. She didn't speak much, and when she did, it was quite confusing, so she's probably best left at home.
Indeed.
And you, fair lady?
Oh, I'm Aubrey Hopper. That's my name.
Pleasure. And you, good sir?
Kaiser.
Well, I imagine that Zane has brought you up to speed about what we're facing here. And I believe we're supposed to pursue negotiations. I have offered access to the Harpers in Everland, and potentially access to Moongleam Tower. I've also offered a horse to the young silver-haired woman. And I was wondering what else. How can we come to this arrangement? What is it that you require of me so that I may understand what I require of you?
I'll kind of reach for my shield that is probably on my back with like its bland, like water deep colors as it was purchased there. It's like, I need a new shield if you have one. If you don't, we can think of something else, but new shield would be good.
Oh, is there something wrong with your current one?
Yeah, we ran into some ogres a while ago, and they kind of gave it too much wear and tear.
Well, I suppose the blacksmithy could craft you a shield.
Matt, I should have had this prepared somewhere, but who would have been the Harper that probably would have been able to issue like such a kind of exile type of thing? Or who would be someone high up in the Harpers?
I can actually...
I would have probably...
Yeah, no, that's okay. I can actually tell you in just a moment here. I actually have a whole list of them, which is quite nice. Oh my god. So they're High Sorcerer Varel Rudin. It's High Sorcerer Vaeril Rudin. Rhuidhen. Very powerful member of the Harper and one of the leaders. They are the ones who exiled you.
Okay. Alright, so I guess I will look to Lady Chandrel and I say, well, we haven't met, but I've heard of you. Good things. Quite respected.
Oh. My reputation has earned me the respect of an exile. That's really great to hear.
Ah, so you've heard of me too. I see.
Maya's mentioned you once or twice.
Well, of course, being an exile, it seems as though Moongleam Tower and those other things probably aren't as much for me, but what I would like is an audience with Varel, the High Sorcerer. I would just like to speak to him. I'm not here asking for forgiveness or redemption. I just want a chance to try and make amends. That's all. You don't have to promise anything. Just a chance.
A chance is something I could certainly give. I can put you in touch with someone in Everland, and they can very likely gain you an audience with the High Sorcerer. I'll inform them that it is an exile wishing to seek, an audience.
Thank you. I very much appreciate that.
You, my lady, you've yet to ask me of anything.
I don't particularly need anything, but in aiding your town's defense, if you give me access to supplies and things like that, I'm quite a skilled craftswoman, so I can certainly aid in the defense, in crafting things and coming up with plans for defense. That would be the only quest I'd have, is having access to supplies for that type of thing.
All right. I'm sure that can be arranged. So, Zane, do these terms seem agreeable to you?
There is one more, a small thing. There is... There is someone within your town, a shoemaker. I believe at least we know him of the name of Lemmy.
Yes, Lemmy's an excellent cobbler.
Indeed. Let me ask you, what do you know of this Lemmy?
I know that he's a very talented shoemaker, a somewhat talented enchanter, and he moved to Triboar about a decade ago, was retired at the time.
Indeed. Is that all?
That is all.
Well, I will put this to you plainly, Lady Chendril, as I think this is something that you probably should know in the interim. When Lemmy was retired, Lemmy unfortunately was dealing in some rather unfortunate business, had some connections to less savory peoples, and those connections, perhaps he is being pressured, or so we have heard, being pressured into perhaps having some sort of attempt on your life. Now, this means, Lady Chendril, two things. This means that the Zentarim have their eyes on you, and they want to see you removed. Now, this is information that I have just learned. I would have perhaps brought it up on our first meeting. Now, we have reason to believe, as I have mentioned, is that Lemmy is being pressured into this. So what we ask is that you take measures to see that you defend yourself, but we also would like to ask for you to not take immediate actions against this Lemmy, as we want to do said thing first. And we want to very much right the wrong path that Lemmy has traveled down. We plan to go and visit Lemmy right about now, in fact, after this meeting.
So Lemmy is a Zentarum agent who has been tasked to assassinate me.
Former Zentarum agent.
She gives you an interesting look. She's like, there are two ways that one ceases to be a Zentarum agent. Death or death.
Yes, well, I am aware of our feelings toward the Zentrum, and I do share them. My issue here is Lemmy has been out of it for quite some time, from what we've been told by other contacts. When I went and investigated this and found about this plot, I got the feeling it definitely doesn't seem to be something he wants to be a part of. Now, that's just a read. It could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But we would like the opportunity to speak with him and try and offer him a deal. Offer him a way out in exchange for his help, his information, in assisting our efforts to disrupt and eventually destroy the Zentarum.
Make no mistake, Lady Chandril. I'm not going to say I want the Zentarum gone more than you, but I want him gone a great deal. And me and my companions, we think that this way is going to be of great importance in assistance of doing that, taking a step in the right direction.
Alrighty. Zane, go ahead and roll persuasion with advantage because Lucius assisted you.
All
And
right.
disadvantage because I'm an agnostic.
20 total.
Alrighty.
Net 20.
Net 20.
I'm gonna roll this with my dice from Dice Envy, hashtag sponsored.
Ugh.
Pog.
Okay. Interesting. Well then. How can I say this? I don't particularly care if did someone? No? Okay. I don't particularly care if there are people out to kill me. I am the Lord of Triboar. It's not the first assassin in our midst, and it won't be the last. This city was founded on blood. It's just...
As many were.
Yes. It is just a byproduct of being in this game. But I do find it strange that you want to help him. However, I also find it encouraging. So, you, you people who I barely know, I will consider, if you are able to flip this Zentarum agent, I will consider writing a more glowing letter on behalf of Lucius. You can consider it your first good deed.
And make no mistake as well, if indeed this read about Lemmy is wrong, we very much want him removed from the situation. So there's no threat on your life, or there's no assistance for the Zentarum on his behalf.
Foebreaker and I have slayed many of my enemies. Lemmy, we'll just add Lemmy to the pile.
The legends do tell of such, Lady Shenju. The legends do say as much.
We certainly do.
Well,
So, good luck with Lemmy. And we'll be throwing a small little soiree at Urgala's tonight at her inn there. So, join the townspeople later but I will be here for some time. Hope to hear good things about Mr. Two Shoes.
as do we all, Lady Shenju. As do we all. Before we depart, are you in need of any more assistance in the efforts of preparations for tomorrow? What is the plan? Are you wanting to meet whatever forces in the field? Do you want to wait until they come close to the town, in the town?
I believe playing on home field is well, I guess since you are all here, before you go off and get yourselves killed, we should cover the battle plan. We are hoping that... And she sits down and kind of sits back. How much do you know about the fire giants?
Personally, I do not know much about fire giants.
Absolutely nothing, to be honest.
Ever heard of a term called Vondendad?
We have recently, have we not?
I think so, actually. Yes, we have heard of the term.
Was
That
it,
is...
What
Gargoyle
language is
or-
that?
Well,
Does that refer to some very powerful artifact or something of the sort?
Yes, in giant it means war maker.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It was a legendary construct, one of thousands at a given time. But over the years, the giants' armies were reduced to a few. In their war with the dragons, they created these constructs. They numbered greatly and were powerful. Few were left, the relics of which reside in different and disparate communities all throughout. There's a shrine to a giant war god located in this town. And it has long been understood that a fragment of Vondendad exists in the crypts and the barrows beneath. Archaeological digs have been attempted, of course, but resources have not been put towards it since the War of the Silver Marches. And we don't particularly want to... Well, we want to let sleeping dogs lie. So, we believe the giants are going to make for the shrine of the war god, because they are seeking the Vondendad fragment that is housed beneath. To that
Where are your crypts located?
They're not our crypts. They are crypt barrows. They are different, but they are beneath about 6 feet worth of soil at this point. But they are just a bit north of here, from where we sit.
In the town of Triboar or outside of the town?
Within the town's limits.
Oh, okay.
So, we have rigged a certain kind of trap in the shrine for when the giants get close and start digging their grubby little hands through our soil. We have a kind of, an explosive response that we believe will take care of them. An explosion of the non-fire variety, of course. We're not idiots. However, giants are not the only creatures, and we believe that they will launch a two-pronged attack dividing their forces, one to the east and one to the west. With you here, if you could man the eastern front with Urgala and perhaps other assistants, we could see to it that the western flank is well defended with the 12.
I trust your judgment on the most beneficial route to the safety of Triboar. So if this is what you think will be the most effective, then sure.
There's no wall around Triboar, right?
No, unfortunately, we're not a walled city. We're a farming community. But we have our guards, and almost every shopkeeper here and innkeeper is a retired adventurer. You saw Urgala and her weapon.
Indeed, there are many capable people in Triboar, it seems.
It's the savage frontier. It's the way of life.
It's a savage frontier indeed.
So, if you can break them on the eastern front, the 12 will crush them on the west, and then the giants will use that opportunity to walk their happy little butts into our trap. We'll reconvene and sack them.
Tonight, you guys, do you have a perimeter to scout? I would think that the best thing for the giants to do would be to night raid. No.
They are coming tomorrow night. We have scouts.
Okay.
But yes, we have people running sorties and scouting the lands. And we also have half of the 12 on the range. So we are monitoring the situation as closely as possible. But even if they were to launch a surprise attack, we still have our trap set.
Seems too obvious, right? There has to be something.
Giants are not very intelligent creatures, thankfully. And this is not the first attack on Triboar that I have defended.
Have you ever defended an attack against giants before?
Yes, as a matter of fact, but not to this scale.
Ah.
Usually it's just a lone hill giant that's wandered and it's gotten hungry.
Of course, these are much more menacing than hill giants.
Yes. I don't know if it'll play out as cleanly as I've stated, but this is the plan.
It seems to be a good one.
You want us on the eastern side?
Yes, you'll be with Ergala near the eastern farmsteads, warding off whatever flank they send that way. She has a giant's bane, a great axe to accompany you.
Ah. Quite a handy thing in this situation.
It's the savage frontier. Do you have any questions for me?
Is there a particular area on the eastern side that you think that they might attack? Or
We'll just be maintaining more of an overwatch from there, but based on the what is that freaking area called? They'll probably start with one of the farms. They'll want to do as much damage as possible in a short amount of time. Maya pops up. She's like, we have placed many lodestones around the perimeter of the Shrine of the War God and within it. They actually look like common boulders to the layman and non-arcane, but we have essentially rigged them with a certain kind of arcane charge, and it'll be quite devastating to anyone contained within.
Perhaps... I was going to say, is this... I'm curious about this Vondendod thing. Assuming that everything tomorrow goes as planned, perhaps we could revisit this conversation on the Vondendod. I am just vastly unaware of the significance of it. And I'm curious to know more about such things, seeing as there is not only a giant's presence to the south in Nightstone, but now to the north, coming here. It seems like it is a growing threat to everywhere.
Maya kind of gives you a warm smile, and she kind of puts her brilliant metallic hair kind of to the left. We could definitely talk more about it, perhaps at the party. I'd be happy to talk to you more about the giant lore and everything that I've researched and learned.
Oh, that would be wonderful if you're able to do so. Thank you.
Absolutely. I have been trained as a bard under the Harpers. It's been terrific.
As a bard. Curious. And Zane shoots a glance to Lucius.
Lucius
And
looks
back
a bit
at her.
kind of lost. He's kind of staring at Maya.
Zane's gaze lingers on Lucius, perhaps a little longer than normal, and then turns back to Maya.
Faye and I have the exact same reaction.
it's happening.
Maya just kind of, again, is kind of looking you in the eye, Zane, and giving you a very warm smile. She's like, well, if we're kind of settled matters, let's, I'll see you all later at Ergala's, okay?
Okay. That sounds good. Lady Chandril, you will be here?
I will. I'll be working. I will stop by Ergala's towards the end, just to say bid everyone a fair good night.
Well, if we do not see you there, in case, I bid you adieu, and may us both live to see the end of tomorrow. May all of us live to see the end of tomorrow.
Good luck with Lemmy. He's a slippery one.
Thank you.
And they bid you adieu.
Wait, question. When you say metallic hair, like what color would that be?
Silver, would it be?
It's not silver. It's like somewhere in like the blonde, gold, bronze kind of ish neighborhood.
Would you say it's like copper color?
I mean, it could be. I'm not very. I'm not very good at distinguishing colors myself, so I can't say for certain.
Yeah, I guess one thing that I don't think you mentioned that might be of value to someone like Zane is that she is in fact a tiefling as well. So
she is.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay. Very interesting.
I don't know. Could we see her tail?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm just thinking.
Also, Zane does not have a tail.
Mm-hmm. I don't worry, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Kaiser's really interested in tiefling tails.
It's all right. It's all right. We all have our kinks.
Straight.
So you
I
all,
guess Zane bows and we leave.
yeah, you all move away from the stone tower and make your way to Limmy's.
So, on the way to Lemmy's,
Yeah.
Zane will turn to a certain Lucius.
Certain Lucius. Which Lucius?
Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And say, Lucius, so you knew Maya? Know Maya?
I do.
And you were surprised that they were alive? And why is this?
Very long story.
Can you give me the shortened version now? Or would you rather wait for another time?
I'm not sure if there is a shortened version. You
Fair
heard her
enough.
say it herself. Well, Lady Chandra. Exile. Hasn't really been relevant yet, but it is now, so.
Of
Suppose.
course.
But, yeah, I've done some bad things. None that are, I feel, irredeemable. Well, actually, no. When I say bad things, you may go somewhere that it isn't, so it's better if I fully explain it at some point. Yeah. Don't want your mind to wander too much, because I'll tell you the truth. But it'll take a bit too long for us right now.
Well, Lucius, authority is wandering, but
Yeah, no, that's
I
fine.
will refrain from judgment until I hear you out. Exile is not a word to be taken lightly, especially from people as influential as the Harpers, someone who I'm trying very actively to ally with.
Oh, I know. And, well, I am trying to get them to at least forgive. Don't worry, Zane. I won't get in the way of your diplomatic relations. If it comes down to harming it, I can leave. But for now, we have a city to protect, and a man and a woman's life to save right now. And potentially, some Zentrum lives to end.
Last thing for now. Perhaps you do not know, perhaps it is impossible to say, but do you think it is more likely that the Harpers forgive you or not?
You know? Maybe they'll never forgive. But at least, maybe we can come to an understanding. As I said to Lady Chandra, I'm not asking for forgiveness. Just asking for an audience.
For a chance. Well, let us hope for both of our sakes, Lucius, that you are able to come across this forgiveness.
Yes, well, let's hope so.
So you stand in
Let's
front
go.
of the closed down. Sorry, I had muted in two places. You stand in front of the closed down, for the night shop and apartment of Lemmy Two Shoes, the Elven Mind Mage. So, what do you wish to do? Oh, and you see a Sheba in your off in the distance.
Did we see Alyssa transform before?
I don't think she's been a dog before. I don't know.
No. Well, did we see her transform like as we were leaving, or did after we leave?
Oh, that was way after you left. You
Right.
don't know what form she's in yet.
I know it's a dog, and I know it's around Levy's. I was like
When we
looking.
walk-
Are there
when
any
we walk
dogs
past
in the
the
area
Shiba,
besides?
Oh, cute doggy. Yes.
Wait,
Some
are there?
scratches on the head.
Do we see any other dogs before we see this Shiva?
Yeah, sure. At least an Irish wolfhound, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Singleton.
but this one's adorable,
Elisa?
Zane.
Is it are you Elisa? Elisa?
You're muted, by the way. Hey.
I thought she was.
Oh, that is Elisa.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what might have been you, but that is you. Okay.
Are you sure? It's not speaking, it's barking.
Wait, where's Alyssa?
Well, I wanted to transform into a dog.
Oh,
That's
shit.
dogs.
Wait, she can do that?
She said she could, yes.
Look, if
I
it was
believe-
Alyssa, she'd stop me from petting her at this point, right?
Would she?
No, you're right. She wouldn't. It's definitely
wouldn't.
Alyssa. Yeah, I should stop.
Yeah, I remember her age, bro. Chill.
Ooh.
Like a head scratch.
Prance.
Chill. Like, come on.
I prance over to Kaiser and I sniff him.
Okay, it's
Yeah, it's
Alyssa.
definitely Alyssa.
It's
yes.
Alyssa.
It is
That's Alyssa
confirmed.
for sure.
All right. Can you untransform or?
All right, sounds good.
Uh, okay. I mean, you can stay as a dog if you want to.
Alright,
I think
Alyssa.
she likes being a dog. But
I think so too. All right. So, you want to just knock on the door? I suppose you want to keep it very very
well,
direct.
I mean, first off, Alyssa, bark yes for this question. Has Lemmy left his apartment yet? Or his room?
Once for
House?
yes, twice for no. There you go.
Alright, so he's still here.
That is good.
Alright,
Oh, that is yes. Okay.
then I suppose we'll just knock on the door.
I just like run full speed at the door and like hit it with my head. Not like
That's
full
Alyssa.
Speed. Not like full speed, but like because I'm like trying to knock. I do like twice.
Roll a d4.
Okay. Oh, of course.
How much was it?
4.
Take 4 points of damage.
Yeah, that's why I said of course.
And the lights kind of flick on. And there's the tall and lithe figure of Alemitus. She's the pale, bald elf with very pointy ears and pale white skin and all sorts of black tattoos and runes inscribed in his body. His kind of with these predator eyes stares from behind the dimly lit glass. And he will speak to... he will speak to just the first person he sees. Who's in front? That's not the dog.
well, I would have kind of chased after her probably. So
Okay. Can I help you?
yes, actually, Lemmy, we'd
And he is speaking into your mind.
Can he do that?
Yes, it's not divination magic.
Okay, it's just telepathy.
Yep.
Actually, Lemmy, yes, you can help us. We need to talk. I believe you'd probably want to let us in.
I don't know you, boss. And I'm not letting a stranger in my apartment after hours.
Well, quickly, I'm just gonna disguise self as Garland.
Oh, well, you're very handsome in that form, but I'm still not letting you in.
God sent us. He said you would be a friend. We've run into some trouble recently.
He spins one
Put
of
the
his...
form back.
He spins one of his hands and the door opens. Come in, he speaks out to the street.
Go on.
Puts his leg forward to block the dog.
She's with Alyssa, please. We I know. We can spend more time in dog form later, alright?
Alright, I turn back into a person. with a
Oh, one of those.
oh, one of those. You're real cool, old
All right.
guy.
Starting off
Alyssa, how about we just chill outside?
He opens the door and lets you all in.
Okay.
Shuts it behind you, and he just stays in the foyer of his shop and stands behind the counter. What is it that Garland would have you meet with me about?
Well, Zane, would you like to start or me?
Well, I could start, and we will go from there. Quite plainly, Mr. Lemmy, we want to offer you an opportunity. We are aware of some of your past, at least, your connections with the Zentarim, the fact that you were not with the Zentarim for a while, and now, perhaps, you are trying to do some work for them again. Now, I do not know if you'll answer this honestly, or how you will feel on the subject, but to be very aware of the fact that I'm trying to be very open and very direct in this. Do you want to work for the Zentarim or not?
I moved up to Triboar to make shoes, to leave my life in the Black Network behind me. But the truth is you can never leave, not forever.
Now, Lemmy, my name is Zane Korakai of Mirabar. I possess connections. Perhaps I could make this possible for you to leave. Is that something that would be interested, or you would be interested in? If there was, perhaps theoretically, a way of leaving.
So, Garland sold me down the river, did he? And you've come to offer me a way out.
Make no mistake, I offer you a way out in return for services that you could provide us. I want this to be a very mutually beneficial arrangement that we perhaps could come to.
What services would those be?
Well, it is known that you are a very powerful person. You possess abilities that not many do. You possess connections. You possess information that not many do.
True. And how would you like me to put my talents to good use?
Zane looks towards Lucius.
Well, in short terms, we'd want your assistance in, well, dismantling the Black Network. Not all at once, obviously, and of course it's a very large task that'll take a long time. But at least assistance in that front, having someone who's been on the inside and has many connections within it, quite useful.
I wanted out of the Zentarum because I got tired of working for others in this manner. I don't want to use my talents to help a bunch of shits trying to control the world or whatever. You want to take down the Zentarum? Good luck.
Do you think that this is an impossible task, or one you're not willing to help with?
Both. You have no idea of the depths of their resources and power. Their leaders are creatures of unimaginable strength.
Do you believe that the Zentarim, as they are right now, if they so choose, could rule over every single town, city, kingdom, all of this land?
Not all of them, but they control quite a bit.
And what if, perhaps not all, of the forces of everywhere else banded together. But the talent, the power, the information, everything that is to offer of a lot of the places, especially ones with great influence, banded together to assist in taking down the Zentarian. Do you not think that this is possible?
It's certainly possible. It's just not something I have an interest in. There's a
Of
reason.
course.
There's a reason Lady Chandrel is still alive. I'm not a killer anymore. So I don't know.
We're not asking you to be a killer.
How about this? Instead of helping this Zentarum capture and or eliminate Lady Chandrel, I'll help you capture and or eliminate one agent of the Zentarum.
Interesting how you would play forth capturing or killing Lady Chandler. We said nothing of the sort.
I assumed I had been sold down the river.
Well, this is the first we're hearing of it, but I suppose that a trade like that could be of use, especially with a particular one that's been giving trouble, right, Stain? Could be quite useful, actually.
Indeed. I think it would be useful if... Did you have one in mind? Or was it a sort of pick and choose?
Pick and choose to your heart's content. I really don't know that many in the game anymore.
Well, I think this is a very fortuitous opportunity, perhaps, Lucius.
Yes, in fact, I think it is. Well, the one in particular that probably will be giving us trouble and is giving a lot of people a lot of headache at the moment is by the name of Copperhead.
I've heard of them. They're very imaginative.
In what ways, exactly?
Their passion for destruction and their ability to manipulate the factions in the Zentarum to their will. They're a real visionary. I can't quite help you take down Copperhead because no one knows their identity. I don't even know where they are. I imagine the south, where the power base is. Nothing to be gained here in Triboar.
Except a foothold in the city.
It's a town of artisans and wheat farmers. What kind of foothold is that?
A foothold that the Zentarum apparently desires, seeing as they have taken Rassalanta, arguably a less desirable town.
Rassalanta has proximity to Waterdeep. It's the only reason they want it.
Or they want to make their plans go up north.
Triboar would be an excellent foothold toward the north, would it not?
It would. It's oddly centrally located. Red Lodge is even a bit better than Triboar for the center and the south, but it's unfortunately well protected.
Yes, but if they get Triboar and then they have the south as well, Red Lodge should be in between that.
And they could coordinate an attack. I suppose I see it. But I think I would notice if Copperhead was stomping about. I don't think Lady Chandra would still be alive.
Well, you said yourself you don't know who Copperhead is, and they sound like quite the manipulator. It seems like a perfect opportunity to use their manipulation.
I don't know their goals. As far as I understand it, the assassination of Lady Chandra wasn't coming from Copperhead. So perhaps you coming here stopping me from assassinating Lady Chandra is all part of Copperhead's larger scheme. Garland sent you, the Silver Fox. Maybe they've been manipulated.
I don't buy that as much, but of course, anything's possible.
So, if you ever find out who they are, or if you want help, give Olemi a ring. I'll come trotting around. As for Triboar, and your allusions to Mirabar earlier, don't suppose I'll be staying in this town much longer, seeing it's about to go to the dogs, and I've been found out. So, got a nice bunk bed for me in Mirabar, Mr. Korakai?
Well, depending on your willingness to cooperate, that could be arranged.
I am willing to cooperate in assisting you with the Zentarum by taking down one of their members. As you wish. And I promise to behave myself in Mirabar.
Yes, you say you want a life where you do not have to worry about much. You came here to be a shoemaker.
Yes.
You want a more simple life. That can be arranged for you.
Good. Then we have a détente, an agreement then, do we? You lot will come pick me up out of Mirabar whenever you're ready to make your move on Copperhead or whoever else has pissed you off that day.
Yes, I think so. Now, there are many sensitive things happening all at the same time. Now, if you are able... I suppose I do not quite know exactly your relationship currently with the Zentarim. Would they go looking for you if you were to disappear to Mirabar?
They could try, yes. Zentarum don't. They hold grudges.
And while they may try, you are confident in your abilities to elude them?
I can bend people to my will, Mr. Korakai. It's easy to stay hidden when you can change people's memories.
And you are able to do that, change people's memories?
He gives a very, very wide smile that is just far, far too full of teeth. Pearly whites.
Insight check?
Go ahead, roll insight check.
Seven.
He is giving you creepy vibes, and he says, "Would you like a demonstration?"
What would this demonstration entail?
Modifying someone's memory.
Can you pick and choose what you modify?
Yes. Something you'd like to forget? Or remember differently, Mr. Korakai? A heartbreak in your past you'd like to remember more fondly? A loss you wish had never happened? I can make your reality what you will.
I do not want a demonstration, no. I think I will suffice myself with the knowledge that you're able to do so.
It's good to know you attempted. It's good to know you thought about it.
I did. I did indeed.
Well then, I think I'll be seeing you in Mirabar then.
Yes, I think so. Now, I will have to write you a letter of sorts that you will present to House Korakai once you reach Mirabar. And they will help assist you, perhaps not ludicrously, but with something to help you get your start there.
I appreciate it.
All right, then. And when will you be leaving? Do you have things to do here first, or?
I've always fancied living my life as a vagabond, a hermit. I'll be packing up tomorrow morning and leaving. Especially since this town is about to be sacked by giants, orcs, and elementals. And I don't have a dog in that particular fight, so I just as soon as get on my way.
Enough. Do I believe him that he's like accepting this deal, or does he seem really like?
Roll insight.
Oh, that's not good. All right, I think that is a total of 10. Let me make sure. Yeah, 10. Ah, he is.
Yeah. So he seems to be telling the truth.
Okay. All right.
In the morning, then. So, I suppose before I leave here, if you have a piece of paper and a writing instrument, and I can draft the treaty. Not a treaty, I suppose, but a letter.
Sure.
Been writing too many treaties recently.
He pulls out a piece of parchment and a pen. I'll also just be able to show them when I get there.
What do you mean by this?
Kind of gives another very wide smile, and he puts a very long finger to his head, and he just kind of streaks it along his one of his lobes, and from it a silver strand of memory ekes out. And you can see,
Ew, gross.
and you can see in the visual of this memory, this silver blob in the air, the conversation that you just had. Memories.
Yeah, so memories can be modified. So perhaps that plus the letter.
Indeed. My thoughts exactly, Aubrey. You said yourself things like this can be modified. So the weight of the letter I will write you will hold more than that.
He looks at you. So can letters.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong.
Not necessarily helping your case here, let me.
I don't have a case. Push comes to shove, I'd have some of you knife one another, and the rest of you forget it ever happened. I'm not scared of a bunch of children walking into my office, doing as much of a favor as you're doing me.
You'd be right to not underestimate people, I mean.
You'd be a fool if you think you'd all survive.
Oh no, I'm not looking for a fight with you. Well aware.
So, write your little letter, Mr. Korakai, and I'll see you in the glorious city of Mirabar.
All right. That I shall. Sane goes to start writing, kind of slowly, and we'll write a little bit, glance back over to him, write a little bit more.
Scratch some things out, get a new paper out to start over.
Oh God, it's like my boss.
Not quite that, but
He's gonna walk over to Kaiser. Hey there.
Yo.
It's you again.
Yeah, so you gonna have those shoes ready?
I'll leave them in my shop. You can pick them up in the morning.
Appreciate it, thanks.
So, what? You were in here scoping me out earlier with mags?
No, those shoes are pretty cool.
But you're with all of them.
I mean, yeah, but the shoes.
You are actually quite a talented craftsman.
Kaiser has been hyping up his shoes quite a bit, to be honest.
I heard they are red bottoms. Is this true?
I wonder who that was with the accent.
Yes, I invented the red bottom technique.
I'll have to see them. Perhaps you can make shoes for me, Ava, if it is as legendary as is this here Kaiser has described.
They certainly are.
Wunderbar.
Since I won't be there to pick up the payment, believe I'll accept the rest of that in full, my good man.
Oh, what? When? Men? Who? Me now?
You, yes.
Yeah, sure. How much did I owe you again?
175 gold.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Easy.
Thank you. Is that letter done?
Nearly. I am finishing it up.
Make sure to write at the bottom if the shoes aren't there that he owes me 175 gold.
I will write an addendum.
Thank you.
God, you guys are such shits. Alrighty. You finish that letter, press, seal it, whatever. And Lemmy's like, well, it's a pleasure doing business with you. And good luck with your little battle here in Triboar.
Yeah. It'll be an experience for sure.
Something on your mind, Lucius?
Just was thinking how much nicer you were when I was an old lady.
Whatever. Goodbye. And he just waves you on out of his shop.
All right. Well,
That man is an asshole.
He
he's
was actually so much nicer when I was an old lady.
Come on.
I mean, that's people, right? You know, respect your elders.
Yeah. Back when you were just a bunch of assholes storming into his shop late at night. Blackmailing him.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
my head.
yeah,
Weird how his attitude changed.
that's crazy.
So what do you wish to do now? Do you head back to the inn for the soiree, or?
So even though this party should be fine, there's something telling me that something might happen. So
What do you mean? Something such as what?
this battle that's coming up, it seems too simple, even for giants and orcs and stuff like that. They didn't see any other forces. They didn't see anything. It seems there's something missing, I think.
In what way?
There's something that's going to happen that we're not finding. I believe it's going to happen. I might be just too paranoid, but there's just a feeling that I have that's just something's going to happen that no one seems, and it might be at this party.
I suppose you are a trained fighter. Your instincts on these matters, I suppose, would be something that you should not ignore.
So do you not want to go to this party, or what are
I-
you suggesting?
We should be fine. It's just be ready. Don't be too casual. I guess
Okay.
All right. You know, when we were discussing doing this whole thing, convincing Lemmy, it sounded a lot more simpler in my head. But after going there were a lot of unknowns about the situation that we did not discuss. There are still a lot of unknowns here. I find
Much
myself.
worse.
What was that?
It got much worse. It wasn't as straightforward as we were hoping.
Not at all.
No plan ever is.
I just. I am much more uneasy about this, I suppose, than the majority of things in my life. Much as Kaisa here has a bad feeling about either the battle or the party, I have a very similar feeling regarding this Lemmy.
I mean, yeah, did you even look at him? That guy's fucking creepy. I'm not gonna judge a book by the cover, but if you didn't think that he's up to something, I think you might be not thinking about it correctly.
I suppose it is not the fact of I know he is up to something. It's just I have no idea what it is that he is up to that is causing this uneasy feeling, I suppose.
That's the issue I'm having now as well with him.
You're sending this man to Mirabar that can change people's memories, right? I definitely think there might be something bad that happens due to this.
My thoughts do cross this path. Yes, indeed, there is.
I mean, he's not exactly giving the help that we were wanting. He's only helping us with one Centaur agent. So, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if
at the
you
end
want
of the
to
day,
go
we could just
to-
turn him over to the Lord Protector.
He seems rather confident in saying that even all of us would have no match against him. What makes you think that? I mean, obviously, the Lord Protector has forces as well that are very powerful, but I don't know. He just gives off the vibe that when you would try to stop him, he would be one step ahead already.
Oh, yes. He's an arrogant man. That's what they do.
Yes, he's an
Is
arrogant
it-
man, and so he makes mistakes. He
I'm
started
not.
off by revealing all of his incriminating evidence to us without even us saying a single thing to him. He just assumed he was sold out. He's arrogant, he makes mistakes. You can get a step ahead of him. He fell for not that difficult of a trick in the first place. Look, I'm quite good at selling disguises, but if he's as powerful as he says, you would think that just this amulet and a simple spell wouldn't be enough to get through him.
Perhaps even,
Maybe, yeah, maybe he modified your memory.
I don't think he can if I have this.
I
if
don't
he's
know
as
magic.
powerful as he says he is, perhaps he could get past it. I don't know. I would think there are forces that could get through an amulet, even if it is designed to protect against the very same thing. I obviously am not powerful enough, and I don't even think I know of anyone off the top of my head that is powerful enough, but I don't know. This man is an enigma. I do not know anything about him. Lady Chandra said a very interesting thing. She said that the only way that you leave the Zentarum are death or death. And he is not dead. And he left the Zentarum for 10 years, was it?
10 years is what he's...
Yeah, doing the math on this one, it ain't adding up.
It is not. It is very much not adding up. Which is, again, leaving me with a feeling of unease.
What about Garland then? He's out of the Centaur, supposedly.
I don't know. Maybe it might be modified Garland's memories or something. I don't know.
Very possible.
I
I mean,
don't.
this is quite the rabbit hole to go down.
I don't think there's a possibility to control or ally with a mind mage.
Look,
I feel like the possibilities are endless.
No, I
Dang.
think this is very much... Yes?
there are great powers in Mirabar, correct?
There are.
You don't think the city will fall to a single mind mage, correct?
I do not.
Okay, send word with someone else of his coming. Say not to trust him, but to give him what you had agreed on. To set him up, tell him he's essentially a criminal but an asset. You're not detaining him, but you're watching him.
Yes, I worded very carefully in my letter. Obviously, I think that he will read it, so I tried to make it very discreet, so he would not exactly know what it meant, but in the letter I alluded to the fact that this is a potential ally and we would be coming and to, help him, but obviously, not let him get free reign over anything he wants there,
Yes,
and
well,
that he is a very powerful, influential person.
I would send another with
I
someone else
think
in
that
more
is
clear terms.
I think that this would probably be a good idea, yes.
Because while I do find that my initial read was off, I don't think that he's necessarily a threat. I just think that he's someone that has to be monitored.
I think the more people that know the original story makes the changes that he could make in memory seem weaker, right? In theory,
Sorry, say that again.
the more times the original story sticks to multiple people, the less changing one person's memory would do.
Probably in most cases, yes.
So sending out as many letters as you could would be the best possible idea.
Well, or at least telling them to inform as many people as possible within
Yeah.
the city.
Yeah.
As far as within your circle of influential people, I'm not saying tell the entire city that there's a potential criminal within the walls. I'm saying inform the correct people and multiple of them, not just one. But again, this is more your territory than mine. I'm just giving potentially how I see as this is a very risky scenario, and I'm not, I don't want to see this cause trouble for you. This is coming off of something that I did. I'm not trying to have any issues.
No, I think that that is a very good idea, and I agree with the points you're making here. Perhaps it is just my mind that is racing too much. Perhaps we should just... I should write the letter, send it off, so it will get there before.
Let's do that tonight.
Yes, I think we'll do... I will go back to the inn, I will write the letter, send it off, and then...
Then come down, have a drink, discuss the giants, and we'll be ready for the morning.
Yes, I think that is a good idea.
Sleep on it and think if there's any more that we need to do.
Do make sure that you note in your letter that he can modify memories and such.
Yeah, that should be like full bold, 35 size, top of the letter.
I think he's got it.
Double spaced or not double spaced?
Definitely not double spaced, because it would separate the multiple times you would write can modify memory.
Oh, the only thing you double space are notes, so if you read them over, you can make your other notes in the margin, say like alchemist and stuff to these. No, never mind. That
I'll be like, come on, everyone knows that.
At least that is the trend of Miraba, but...
I mean, I always double space.
You are an inventor. This is one of the things that people double space for.
Well, also,
you can make notes within your notes.
Yeah,
Waterdeep, and it's not as good of a, school system as...
Yes, of course, you're not double spacing Waterdeep.
Huh? You talking shit?
What?
I mean, Waterdeep's education is not exactly the best.
Yeah, wait, I'm not talking... I'm saying that we were unfortunate to
okay. Alright, I thought you were talking just about me.
I was from there as well.
I know, but okay, misunderstanding.
No, we're all good. We're all
good.
Yes, I think we are.
I can't believe you got those red bottles.
That shit's crazy, right?
Alrighty then. With that, you all adventure over to the inn of Urgala Meltimer, and there is already a decent crowd and a party to be had. You do see the few familiar faces that you've made here. Well, I guess no, you really haven't made that many familiar faces. You see people from the town. You see Urgala. You see Maya, and you see a couple other people that you haven't quite introduced yourself to yet. What do you wish to do?
Is Maya with people?
She's schmoozing, but she's, not completely ensorcelled.
Okay.
When she sees you enter, she just kind of gives you a very nice smile and just kind of gives you a little wave.
Yeah, I would, I guess I go over.
Okay.
To her.
Alright.
You bringing your new man with you?
Are people coming with me? I mean, I'm walking. I just walked over. I didn't say anything.
I would be outside the inn, keeping watch.
you see she has like a champagne flute, and she has gotten out of her battle leathers and is wearing a rather nice kind of simple black, not quite a dress, but like a black ensemble with a simple copper necklace to match her hair. And she just gives you a very nice smile with a beautiful pearly white teeth, and she's like, Lucius, it's so good to see you. You need a drink. And she grabs a champagne flute and hands it to you.
Yes, it's so good to see you as well. How did you end up... Well, first off, you're looking a lot less lavish than normal, but I like it. But how did you end up back with the Harpers? I mean, we stole from a lot of them, and we caused quite a fuss on our exit. I ended up exiled. I thought you would have been exiled as well, or worse, I thought you could have been dead. I didn't know where you went. I couldn't find you. I looked.
Oh, Lucius, you've really been through it since I last seen you, haven't you?
Well, a bit, and I mean, you look a lot better than you did when I left. You're completely clean then, I assume.
Of course.
That's good. I'm glad.
She kind of looks around. Where is everyone else right now?
Zane would have gone immediately up to the room to write, and then after finished writing a letter, would go immediately to Lady Shendra.
Okay.
I am a dog outside next to Kaiser.
God damn it. And Kaiser, what are you doing?
I'm outside keeping watch because something doesn't seem right.
Alrighty. Go and roll perception.
Aubrey
Okay.
would go talk to Urgala.
Alright. What do you say? Well, we'll leave the Lucius convo for a little bit later. Aubrey, what do you say to Regala?
She would approach her and say, hello, Urgala.
Oh, Miss Harper.
Yes.
How are you tonight?
Quite well. I came to speak to you about tomorrow. Well, tomorrow night, rather. I believe you are to be with us on the eastern side, my party.
I'm glad to have some people joining me. I'm not sure Darth and Darth and Dars and a couple of the other militia members are quite up to the task.
Yes.
We were going to have to split the 12 up into 6 parts, and they don't do as well. So I'm glad you'll be joining me.
Yes. I'm curious about how well do you know the lay of the land? Because I'm quite gifted in crafting things and such as that. So I was wondering of setting up some traps of such for tomorrow.
I know the land very well. I've lived here for quite some time. This is where I chose to retire. I think there's a couple good traps you could lay by the old well that might actually do very well.
Okay. I think tomorrow, if you don't mind coming with me out and scouting around and seeing the best places that perhaps we could set up defenses.
Absolutely. I'll show you all the best spots.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're more than welcome, Aubrey.
Then I will speak to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Zane, what did you want to say to Lady Shendrel?
After writing the letter, Zane would go to Lady Shendrel, request audience, is able to go in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excuse me, Lady Shendrel, I know I did not intend to come back here tonight, but I have one more favor to ask. I need to send a letter to Mirabar post haste, and I'm willing to pay whoever you think would be the best person to do so, to get it to Mirabar as soon as possible. like very hard riding on a horse.
Is it just one letter?
It is.
Oh, you can. I have a personal rookery that you can use. You can use one of the ravens.
Ah, it's a ravens. Interesting.
Some of us still use them.
And it is very reliable.
Incredibly reliable. They're just very difficult and expensive to train.
Now, I am not usually this paranoid, but ravens could be shot down.
Yes, so can messengers.
This is true. Could perhaps copies of this letter and one copy be sent by Raven and one copy be sent by Ryza, if you have someone in mind?
Sure.
That could be up to the task. I am willing to pay whoever this person is very, very handsomely.
Sure. You don't need to pay for the services of the raven, but for the messenger, 5 gold seems a generous bounty.
I will give 10.
Alrighty.
Stress that it is post haste.
It is done. Consider it done.
Alright, could I borrow a piece of paper and...
You're able to successfully write the note that you wish.
Okay. I copy it exactly. There's another one. Someone by Raven. And who do you have in mind that would be willing to do this?
We have a couple great messengers. We're keeping our most capable fighters, around.
Of course.
But there's a number of messengers in town that are very reliable, so we'll use one of them.
All right.
Tori is available, actually, so we'll use her.
Could this be something that is done now? I know it is rather late, but
That's fine.
Okay.
And she will go and grab Tori, who is a pretty sturdy gal who serves as a messenger in Triboar. She says, I will get it there, Mr. Korakai.
Thank you very much. Here is a 10 gold. A very important message. Please deliver it to House Korakai.
Thank you. And she pockets it and takes off.
Thank you.
You see the raven shortly after fly away.
Okay, I am sorry to bother you again, Lady Central. Perhaps we will see each other tonight at the inn.
Good night, Mr. I will probably see you later towards the end there, Mr. Korakai.
All right. Good luck in your planning. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Back at the inn. She goes, Lucius, could we go upstairs just to the balcony, if you don't mind?
Of course.
You step out into one of the upstairs inn balcony that kind of wraps around, and you and her stand side by side, kind of close, or she stands kind of close to you with your champagne in each other's hands, and she just kind of looks out onto the grounds of this quiet, sleepy town. Over towards in the direction of the stone tower. Actually out towards the farmland in the northerly direction. And she says, Zane, I was exiled too.
Wrong name. But still.
Oh, sorry, Lucius. I was exiled too. I was punished and cast aside, and all those things happened. But I turned around and I came away from that experience determined to give myself a better life. And to right the wrongs.
I'm so glad. I'm glad that you've been successful. I'm trying.
What are you?
It's been hard.
What exactly are you trying, Lucius?
Well, that's why I wanted the meeting. I'm trying to make it right.
Trying to make it right with the Harpers?
My father.
Not much has changed with your daddy dearest, but I hope he can see what a special guy you are.
I don't need them all to forgive me. I know what I did was horrible. I just want a chance to make it right, to help the Harpers. They don't need to reinstate me, just so that I can set foot in Everland and not have the glare of everyone. Or set foot here and not be treated as something lesser. I don't need everything to go back to the way it was, but I just want a shot.
Absolutely. You deserve that shot, Lucius. And she kind of turns to you, and she has like one arm on the banister, and she just kind of puts it very gently on your wrist. You're very special. You deserve to be forgiven. You deserve to have the life that you want. What life do you want, Lucius? What do you want to do?
I don't know anymore. Before, I made mischief and entertained. I wanted to bring joy to everywhere I went. Leave every place more beautiful and smiling than I got there. But now my life is just consumed by righting the wrongs of my past, and I don't know what's left for me after, but I'd like to see that one day. Maybe how we started when we first met, you know? Just creating laughter, creating beauty.
Lucius, a life consumed by your past is no way to live. You made some mistakes, but she kind of grips your wrist a little tighter. Lucius, we did some things that others looked down upon, but we were never more alive back then. You spent years of your life now haunted by those things that happened. You were younger. We were different people. But at least the choices we made then were the choices that we wanted to make. Right or wrong. We were alive, Lucius. You and I never had it better than it was you and me in the thick of things, doing the things that we wanted to do. You don't have to let those things haunt you anymore. You should do what you want. You should live your life.
And what about you? You're back to the Harpers. Is this what you want? It was never like you to calm down and a secretary of all things. That doesn't sound right for the Maya Majesty.
She looks up at you. I am exactly where I want to be. In the exact moment of when I want to be there. I am living the life that I want to live, Lucius. I'm living it to the fullest. It's a life of adventure, danger. Not much romance, unfortunately. Don't burden yourself with the thoughts of the past. Let those memories die and return to the self that brought you the most joy. Be like you were again. She smiles. Be happy, Lucius. Cut loose.
But what I was... It wasn't pretty. There's a monster inside of me. And I've been doing everything I can to keep it down.
Whoever said monsters weren't beautiful? I'm a devil, Lucius. Look me in the eye. Tell me I'm not beautiful.
You know that you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
I say this as a member of the Harpers. Fuck the Harpers. Fuck their exile. You don't need them. Start making choices for yourself. Start making them now.
Lucius will lean in.
She leans in as well.
Give her a kiss and then say, well, it's been quite a while since we performed, hasn't it?
It has.
I've got an old song you used to like. Have you got any new ones for me?
I have many new songs and many new tales.
Well, the party needs music, doesn't it?
It really does.
And we don't do anything better.
Not many things better, no. Shall we?
Let's hang on one more minute. Lucius just kind of holds on to the moment with holding onto her and... Alright. I'm ready.
Let's
go down.
Let's go perform. And you all venture down to the... You both venture down and give a beautiful performance. And that is where we'll end tonight's session. Great job, Alyssa. Woo, doggy. That was a doozy. Yeah. So, that was great. So we will close out tonight's episode. Tell them who you are, anything you'd like to promote, announce, of course, and then your favorite moment from tonight's game. Yeah. We'll do this in. I like, for some reason my eyes are so heavy. I didn't have coffee tonight. We'll do this in reverse order. Kaiser, go ahead. Or not Kaiser. Tomster, go ahead.
My name is Kaiser. I stream at Kaiser_Hots. No, I'm Tomster. My Twitter is Tomster Hots. I stream every 3 years on Tomster Hots as well. There's underscore between those two words. Favorite part was the planning phase and the red bottoms.
Yeah, the red bottoms. You all pay for that one.
He did. It cost $175.
I did pay, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. May.
I am May. You can find me on Twitter at MaybeBuzz. I just complain a lot, so probably don't follow me. What did I like about tonight? There was like a lot of good dialogue tonight, and then I had to ruin it by being a dog and only saying woof. So pretty typical.
Ruin it? You mean enhanced it?
Yeah, you're a gift as always, May. Casanova.
Hi, I'm Casanova. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Casanova Hots. I've been trying to stream a lot of TFT. Had a 10-hour stream yesterday. probably going to stream a lot more as I play more of the game. It's a lot of fun. Still not in WoW Classic beta, so just DFT for now. But we'll see about WoW Classic in the future, probably August, because we all know I'm not getting beta. Yeah. But yeah, until then, probably a lot of TFT. It's really fun. I actually really like it. So I'll be streaming a lot there. And then you can find me on Dice Priori every week on Friday nights for Big Boy Season.
That's right.
And my favorite part was just, I mean, yeah, like all the dialogue, just the final like scene was a lot of fun. Matt's great. Matt's a treasure.
Thank you.
Treasure.
Thank you. Crowan.
Hello, my name is Crowan. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter just at Crowan. I've been also streaming a lot of TFT, Teamfight Tactics, the new League of Legends auto chess variant. We'll also be playing a lot of WoW Classic come August. But for now, TFT is all the rage. Shit, from tonight, oh man. Zane is vulnerable, afraid, and he hates it, and I love it. I love that Zane feels all those things. It is actually it's so good. It is so good. So thank you, Matt, for that.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Yeah, that's about that. It's, oh man, Zane is feeling so many things.
Yeah, it didn't go the way you had hoped. I don't.
And jealousy is one of them.
We'll see.
That is to be
You
determined.
better step up from my man.
Probably. You just don't know where exactly the jealousy lies
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
We'll find out, won't we? Faye.
Hi, I'm Faye. My Twitch is Faye14. My Twitter is at FayeHuts. I'm streaming a lot. Also streaming TFT. That's crazy.
Crazy.
It's definitely a lot of fun. Probably stream some HOTS soon because gotta pay the bills, and HOTS pays the bills still. So
Hot? Isn't that a classic Blizzard game?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a classic game. Here's the term. About 4 years when they Blizzard makes their auto chess game, I might play that. We'll see.
When they release their new classic game,
And
Yeah.
then,
they're auto chess.
then sabotage it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Favorite moment for tonight. Honestly, when I heard about the attack coming, I immediately just started thinking of all the shit that Aubrey can just make for it. So I'm excited to see that happen.
So many God Machine turrets just raining fire down on.
Yeah, that Easter front's gonna be super safe.
Alrighty. Well, I am Matthew Foreman. I am at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter, and I exclusively play Teamfight Tactics. No, I do not actually stream Teamfight Tactics. I am a Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop RPG content creator here at Dice Priori. Whew, my favorite moment. I really enjoyed a lot of Alyssa's one-liners, as I always do. You were all just a pleasure to DM for. But I was really excited for that conversation towards the end with Lucius once I realized it was probably going to happen. And I was choosing my words very carefully during that whole thing.
Tell.
It's interesting to see how certain phrases and terms take on a different meaning depending on people's actions. So I enjoy fucking with my players, and you were all just a treat. So that's it. We are going to go ahead and raid someone. I'm going to raid. I don't know how long they're going to be up, but I'm going to raid. I'm going to double check they're still up. Alberon RPG. They are actually a very new and young channel, and I just want to show them a little love. They have a person of color as their DM, and we have to support people from marginalized communities. So go ahead and show them love, and we will see you here next week, Big Boy Season, and watch the Zentarum giant plot unfold. Yeah, so bye, lovelies, and go show Alberon RPG some love. Bye. Alright, they're out.